What is going on, guys? Today I'll be giving out my Avengers Doomsday predictions. If Doctor Doom is gonna end up killing in the beginning of the movie, I think he should show off his power by killing the Council of Kings. I believe the Council of Kings are still alive, and I think they can show off Doctor Doom's power by killing them. Or maybe he can end up killing a variant of Thanos, just like how he does in the comics. Now, as we all saw how Fantastic Four ended, we saw maybe not Doctor Doom, but possibly somebody else. In the end of the movie, they see Franklin somehow curing someone with his hands, or I don't know, maybe they're just playing with Franklin. It is very questionable on who that could be now. Maybe it's not even Doctor Doom himself, but maybe they can end up kidnapping Franklin, using him as a power source. And now, as we all saw in the trailer, Doctor Doom just straight out catches Thor's hammer with just 2 fingers. And now, maybe this could be a little hint of, them possibly killing Thor. Maybe they could end up killing Thor, maybe somewhere towards the middle of the movie, or maybe even the beginning, who knows? But I think that's a possibility they could do in Avengers Doomsday. Now, I'm sure Doctor Doom is well known for taking people's powers, and I don't see no reason why he wouldn't take Loki's powers. And, possibly claiming the power for himself, making himself God Emperor Doom. I could see it happening towards the end of the movie, but maybe that's a possibility, or he's probably going to end up getting power maybe in a different way. Now, as we all saw in the trailer, Steve Rogers is still alive. Now, maybe that could just end up being a variant of him, or maybe even just Captain Hydra pretending to be Cap. And honestly, maybe Doctor Doom can end up mind controlling him. I don't see why not he wouldn't, but he could end up possibly working with Doctor Doom. Maybe somehow get some information off of Thor or the Avengers. He could end up doing that. I don't see why not. And now for my next one, Franklin, he could end up growing up. Doctor Doom just kidnapping him, and Franklin just grows up realizing that Doctor Doom is his enemy and not someone that should be trusted. And maybe he could end up fighting Doctor Doom. While Doctor Doom is God Emperor Doom, maybe that could end up being a good fight. That could end up being a good possibility of happening in Secret Wars. But other than that, I don't really see that much of a role with Franklin, other than just Doctor Doom trying to get his power, or I don't know, maybe manipulate Franklin. And maybe Franklin can end up fighting Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom can end up, just fighting him. And maybe even Franklin could end up being the key to defeating Doctor Doom. Now, this isn't really like a big role, but they could possibly end up hinting or even showing the Beyonders. And maybe that's cool, maybe even hinting. That's probably a good way to show the Beyonders, or maybe Doctor Doom can end up taking the Beyonders' power just like how he does in the comics. And now Iron Man shows up. He can end up just showing like a variant of Iron Man, not the actual Tony Stark, but he can end up, helping the Avengers and the Fantastic Four into defeating Doctor Doom. And now another thing is they could possibly mind control Reed. As we all know, Reed, he ends up turning into the Maker, and he could possibly end up working for Doctor Doom and, just being on his side. Some people theorize that Doctor Doom can have his own team. Why not make a team of, having Reed Richards on that team, but Reed being the maker? I don't see why not. I think he could. I think Doctor Doom can end up fighting the Red Hulk. I mean, why not? I mean, he has fought the Red Hulk before. And I think if they're gonna show him fighting a big powerhouse, maybe the Red Hulk can end up being a great example for him. And now Doctor Doom, he could possibly end up fighting another version of himself. I mean, we have seen him do it before. We've seen him fight another version of himself. Probably like twice. Once him just straight out, just fighting himself. And just straight out warping a whole planet of a successful version of himself. Now, he could also end up killing Galactus. I don't believe Galactus is full on dead. Maybe they can end up saving him for Doomsday to show us that Doctor Doom can end up killing Galactus. Other than that, I don't see any other purpose for Galactus to stay alive. Now, I'm sure everyone knows that there's like a T-Rex version of Doctor Doom. He could end up making those. I don't think he just has to make Doombots. I think if they're gonna make like a Doctor Doom army, they definitely need to have one of those in Doctor Doom's army. Now this, they could definitely save up for Secret Wars, is to make everyone worship him. I'm sure Doctor Doom wants more power. He probably wants to make everyone worship him. Because I'm sure Doctor Doom thinks that he's the best leader and to possibly rule the multiverse. Now, if they're not planning on full-on killing Doctor Doom, I think the best shot is possibly taking him to hell. I mean, he has been in hell before with Mephisto. I don't see why not. They could if they're not gonna kill him, maybe just vanish him to hell. He has fought Mephisto before, and that's probably the best option of somehow getting rid of him. Now, if he's obviously gonna kidnap Reed Richards' son, he possibly could end up marrying Sue Storm, as he's done that before. He probably can do it possibly in Secret Wars. I don't see it happening in Doomsday, but definitely in Secret Wars. Now with this one, of course, he could just end up destroying the whole universe because, he just got pissed off because he mocked his mask and everything. Just straight out kill his own variant, but maybe he could end up, maybe not kill his variant, but end up killing someone else, or maybe just go to a different planet, just like how Thanos did. And he could probably just end up ruling, different countries and possibly just the whole world. We all know his goals. He just somehow wants to make everything his own, and he wants to rule the whole world because he believes that the world is better in his control. Now, he could end up having the same, way of dying sort of way, just like how Thanos did in Infinity War leading to Endgame. But this time, I don't think he's gonna actually end up dying. He could possibly end up, faking his death. That's probably a good way to lead into Secret Wars. I don't see why not. He could just end up faking his death. And why not? Just make him fake his death and end up leading into Secret Wars. And now, mind you, everything I said is not exactly in order, but you guys could imagine it on however you guys want. Other than that, that is all my predictions that could possibly happen in Secret Wars or even in Doomsday. But let me hear your thoughts or predictions, and thank you all for watching.